Hi everyone, it's me, Jessica. I'm a social worker with Jack and Jill Health. This video is going to be about core beliefs and talking a little bit more about them, as well as how we can kind of challenge some of the ones that might not be serving us. I hope that this finds you well and that all of you are ready to do a little bit of learning and a little bit of mind opening as well. um, so in today's agenda, I'm going to do a little bit of an introduction. I'm going to talk about what core beliefs are and why they're important, types of beliefs and their role in the weight loss journey as well, suggestions and starting your journey, as well as having a question and answer period. So my name is Jessica. I am the registered social worker with Jack and Jill Health. I have a master's in social work as well, and I'm very excited to be presenting on this topic for all of you today. So, what are core beliefs? Core beliefs are a fundamental lens through which individuals perceive themselves, so come to understand themselves, others, and the world as well. They're deeply ingrained perspectives that are molded by personal experiences, the way that somebody might have been raised, societal influences, as well as our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors as well. Think of core beliefs as our personalized belief systems that shape how we interpret and narrate our experiences both to ourselves and to the world. They function similarly to tinted lenses, coloring our perceptions and guiding our interactions as well. These beliefs can encompass positive or negative aspects, and sometimes they may not necessarily be very evident and they might be more subconscious. The creation process for core beliefs is not always linear or apparent. Practicing mindfulness around these beliefs involves introspection, asking ourselves whether our thought patterns are empowering us or, hindering us from being able to grow. We delve into the why we think in certain ways and evaluate the impact of these thoughts on our lives as well. So, understanding our core beliefs and their origins helps us recognize inherent strengths and barriers in achieving our goals. Cognitive behavioral therapy highlights the intricate relationship between thoughts, emotions, and actions. By identifying and comprehending these core beliefs, individuals gain tools for personal development, which enable them to challenge and restructure negative beliefs. In essence, our thought patterns deeply influence our emotional response and our actions. Unraveling and comprehending these core beliefs are crucial towards personal growth and self improvement, as it can help empower you to challenge and reshape unhelpful beliefs. So, core beliefs influence attitudes and behaviors that are related to change. When there are negative core beliefs, this can hinder our weight loss efforts as well as making it difficult to change behaviors. Some examples of these negative beliefs include feelings of unworthiness, feelings of low motivation or capacity for change, feelings related to failure. Oftentimes, these negative core beliefs could be a result of the way someone spoke to you growing up, a relationship you had. It could be related to the images that we're constantly being bombarded with from social media and through media. It is crucial to be understanding with yourself regarding these beliefs and to not blame yourself. It is also very important to practice patience and grace with yourself as you move through challenging the core beliefs that do not serve you. It's going to be very important to make a differentiation between beliefs and core beliefs. They differ in their depth, influence, and how central they are to our identity and worldview. So, with beliefs, it's more so general beliefs. Beliefs are thoughts or convictions that individuals hold to be true or valid about various aspects of life, society, themselves, or others. Beliefs can be varied and diverse and cover a wide range of topics from religious and political beliefs to personal opinions and preferences. They're flexible and they're oftentimes at more of a surface level. Core beliefs are more deep-seated, fundamental, deeply ingrained, and often subconscious beliefs about oneself and the world. world. It's central to identity, so they're integral to an individual's sense of self and identity, forming the lens through which they interpret events, relationships, and experiences. They're stable and oftentimes resistant to change. And that's a key point here that I want to make between beliefs and core beliefs. With core beliefs, they tend to be a lot more difficult to challenge. They oftentimes develop early in life and are oftentimes as a result of significant life events. And so these beliefs strongly influence thoughts, emotions, behaviors, and attitudes across various aspects of life, contributing to a person's overall worldview. So, in summary, beliefs are broader and encompass a wide array of opinions, thoughts, or convictions, whereas core beliefs are more ingrained, central to one's identity, and have a more profound and pervasive influence on how individuals perceive themselves, others, and the world around them. Core beliefs oftentimes serve as a foundational framework upon which an individual's beliefs are built. So, a general belief might be, I enjoy going to the gym. This belief represents a preference or enjoyment of a particular type of physical activity. It might change over time based on changes in interests or experiences. Belief about certain foods. I try to avoid consuming sugary snacks. This belief, reflects a specific dietary preference or strategy. It can be influenced by health advice, personal goals, or changing nutritional information. Belief about weight loss methods. I believe in intermittent fasting might be effective for losing weight. This belief represents an opinion about weight loss methods based on information, research, or personal experiences, and it might be subject to change with new knowledge or new experiences. The difference is with core beliefs, a core belief about self-worth and body image might be, I am only acceptable if I have a slim physique. This core belief deeply influences our self-esteem, our body image, how we see ourselves, and it might drive unhealthy behaviors or attitudes towards weight and appearance. Core belief about control and dieting. I must rigidly control my food intake to maintain control over my life. This core belief extends beyond weight loss. It impacts our sense of control. It might lead to extreme dieting habits that are actually quite unhealthy and emotional distress as well. Core belief about failure and weight loss might be, if I'm not losing weight, I am a failure. This core belief links personal worth to the success of achieving weight loss goals. It can lead to feelings of failure, frustration, and a negative self-image if we aren't able to meet our weight loss targets. So it's really important to make this differentiation because general beliefs about weight loss relate to strategies, preferences, or opinions on specific methods. However, core beliefs deeply impact our self-worth, our control, and attitude towards success or failure in our weight loss efforts. And general beliefs about weight loss are, forever evolving, forever changing with information and experiences. They're a lot less rigid. Core beliefs are usually more deeply ingrained and resistant to change and persisting and influencing long-term behaviors and self-perception. So general beliefs may impact specific weight loss strategies or habits, and in contrast, core beliefs significantly shape how we see ourselves, our relationship with our bodies, our relationship with our self-worth, and what we see as success and failure. Understanding these differences can help us, adopt beliefs that are more flexible, that are healthier in the context of weight loss, and it can also impact our self-perception as well. So identifying and understanding one's core beliefs is an important part of personal development and self-worth, right? Because when we recognize that we have negative core beliefs, we might realize the ways in which we might have developed an unhealthy relationship with ourselves and our unhealthy way of viewing the world as well. So this is a very common thing that comes up in cognitive behavioral therapy, which is our beliefs impact our thought, impact our feelings, which impact our actions, which impact our experiences, and it impacts our beliefs. So it's a cycle. All of these things impact one another. Um, Cognitive behavioral therapy is an approach that is aimed at identifying and transforming thought patterns and behaviors that are no longer serving us. Its primary goal is to challenge and reframe negative beliefs and foster healthier cognitive ways of thinking and actions. Cognitive behavioral therapy asserts that our thoughts regarding a situation impact our emotional and physical state, as well as our behavior within that context. By initially recognizing and addressing these unconstructive thoughts using cognitive behavioral therapy, we can kind of stop this cycle from reproducing negative ways of thinking and negative ways of viewing ourselves and negative core values. Cognitive behavioral therapy is instrumental in aiding individuals to identify and confront negative ways and distorted ways of seeing ourselves, of seeing food, and seeing self-worth. Negative core values often underlie things like emotional eating, self-sabotage, and challenges to being able to stick to a diet and exercise routines. Um, Oftentimes, when we have negative core values, it perpetuates this cycle of pessimism where we feel like we're not able to achieve the things that we set out to. Negative core values can significantly influence things like how we perceive others, emotional well being, the way that we think, physical health, behavioral tendencies, and even our decision making process. So, we talked a little bit about this, but negative core beliefs can affect our self esteem and self worth, perceptions of others, emotional well being, cognitive patterns, physical health, behavioral patterns, and decision making. Oftentimes, with emotional eating, increased amount of stress and anxiety can create faulty eating patterns. When we feel like we need to restrict ourselves, it can lead to unhealthy restrictive eating. When we feel like we have a lot of emotional comfort, it can lead to binge eating. And lastly, it can lead to, body dissatisfaction, even if we are meeting our weight loss goals. So, negative core beliefs often manifest in various ways that affect our relationship with things like food, body image, and emotions. When stress and anxiety intensify, they can trigger an urge to resort to food as a coping mechanisms. Individuals might turn to food for comfort, seeking relief from emotional distress rather than genuine hunger. This behavior often leads to overeating or consuming unhealthy foods as a means of managing emotions. With restrictive eating, negative beliefs can lead to suppressing positive emotions associated with food. This might result in feeling undeserving of nourishment or reduces the pleasure that we get from eating. Some individuals might develop rigid rules about food, restricting themselves from enjoying meals or certain types of food due to feelings of guilt or unworthiness. And this can lead to an unhealthy relationship with food and emotions. And binge eating is at the other opposite end of the spectrum, where negative core beliefs can lead to seeking emotional comfort in excessive food consumption. This behavior involves uncontrollable episodes of eating large quantities of food within a short period of time. And it can oftentimes be driven by emotional distress or a way of coping with negative feelings. Um, Body dissatisfaction. Negative beliefs can cause individuals to feel dissatisfaction and distress related to their body image. And this can lead to self criticism, comparing yourself to others, and persistent feelings of being unhappy or uncomfortable with one's physical appearance. Um, Oftentimes, what might be experienced is you might be meeting those goals, but you might still have a really negative core value, and that might be impacting the way that you see yourself. So you might be succeeding in achieving your targets, but you don't feel that satisfaction. These manifestations of negative core beliefs often intertwine, creating complex relationships between emotions, thoughts, behaviors, and one's perception of themselves and their bodies. So addressing these beliefs through therapy and self-reflection can be crucial in promoting healthier relationships. Now, the question might come up for you, how do you identify a negative core belief? Identifying whether a core belief is harmful often involves assessing its impact on your life. So this includes emotional well-being, relationships, decision-making, and overall functioning. Some signs that it might not be a good core belief to have would be negative self-talk. So are you persistently talking about yourself negatively? Negative self-talk reinforces the core beliefs. Does negative self-talk reinforce the core beliefs? Does it lead to feelings of worthlessness, inadequacy, or self-criticism? Does it cause you emotional distress? Does it lead to rigid behavior patterns, behaviors or actions that are rigidly influenced by the core belief? And this might look like causing disruptions in your daily life, relationships. Does it lead to unhealthy coping mechanisms? Are you using unhealthy coping mechanisms as a way of managing the emotions tied to the core belief? Is it leading you to experience difficulty in maintaining your personal relationships? Such as, distrust, avoidance, or dependency? Is it negatively impacting your mental health? Is there inflexibility and resistance to change? And I think it's important to kind of also observe a cycle where the core belief might be reinforcing negative thoughts that reinforce those negative emotions and behaviors as well. If a belief exhibits, these signs and significantly interferes with your ability to function, maintain healthy relationship, achieve personal goals, it might be harmful. So now what do we do? So firstly, begin by paying close attention to your thoughts. Recognize and acknowledge recurring negative beliefs or patterns. Awareness is the first step towards change. Notice when these behaviors arise and how they affect your emotions and behaviors. Challenge your beliefs. Once you've identified these beliefs, question their validity, consider different perspectives or evidence that might contradict these beliefs. Ask yourself if there's concrete evidence supporting these beliefs or if they're based more on assumptions and past experiences. Examine the origin and validity. So dive deeper into the origin of these beliefs. Determine whether they stem from factual information or are based on subjective opinions or interpretations. Sometimes our beliefs might have been influenced by others' opinions or by societal standards rather than the truth. Practice self-compassion. So treat yourself with kindness and understanding. Imagine offering advice to a friend. Acknowledge that everyone has flaws and setbacks and it's okay to not be perfect. Cognitive restructuring. So that looks like replacing negative thoughts with rational, logical, and more balanced perspectives. This can look like challenging negative thoughts by examining the evidence that supports or refutes them. Replace them with affirmations that are based on realistic and constructive thinking. Mindfulness and awareness. Practice being present in the moment. Mindfulness allows you to observe your thoughts and emotions without judgment. By staying grounded in the present, you can objectively evaluate situations and make more informed decisions. And then focus on strengths. Acknowledge your strengths and past achievements. Reflect on what you've accomplished and remind yourself of your capabilities. Focusing on your strengths can definitely boost confidence and motivate further progress. And building a strong support system. Don't hesitate to ask for support from friends, families, or even speaking to a professional about it as well. Engage in self-care. Dedicate time to activities that relax your mind and body. Create a self-care routine that helps with decluttering your mind and promotes overall well-being as well. Setting SMART goals as well, developing goals that are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Clear and well-defined goals provide a sense of direction and a sense of purpose. It can also look like connecting with your inner child. Explore your inner child through various life stages. Nurture and guide, the little you. Think about infancy, early childhood, middle childhood, adolescence, young adulthood, and adulthood. Understand how experiences in each stage might have shaped your beliefs and behaviors. As much as we do learning in these stages, there's also behaviors that we pick up as a result of life experiences that we might have gone through that we now need to evaluate and unlearn. Positive affirmations. So using positive self-talk and affirmations to motivate yourself. Engaging in mirror work where you speak positively to yourself in the mirror might be helpful as well. And these affirmations can reinforce positive beliefs and foster a more optimistic mindset. By integrating these steps into your life, you can work towards identifying, challenging, and transforming negative core beliefs, fostering personal growth, and nurturing a healthier self-perception. Connecting with your inner child can be a powerful way to address negative core beliefs and assist in weight loss by understanding and healing emotional patterns that may be contributing to challenges. So here's kind of how to do it. Acknowledge your inner child. Begin by recognizing and acknowledging that all of us have an inner child within us. This inner child represents experiences, emotions, and beliefs that developed during childhood and continue to influence your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors as an adult. Reflect on experiences that you had in childhood. Consider really important forming moments, relationships that you had, and any events that might have contributed to the development of negative beliefs about yourself. Exploring emotional triggers. So think about certain things that might be a trigger for you. Might be food, might be weight, might be stepping on that scale, might be looking in the mirror. What are your triggers? These triggers might be linked to past emotional experiences or unmet needs that you had when you were a child as well. Practicing inner child work looks like engaging in activities that resonate with your inner child. This might involve creative endeavors like drawing or writing or engaging in playful activities that you enjoyed. Play is actually very important. These activities can help establish a connection and promote healing as well. Offer compassion and reassurance. Think back to that inner child. Think back to that time when you were a child and you wanted somebody to reassure you. What kind of reassurance were you looking for? What did compassion look like to you then? Speak to this part of yourself with kindness, understanding, and encouragement. Offer the support and guidance you might have needed during that time. Can look like healing past wounds, so working on healing past emotional wounds. This might look like talking to a therapist about unresolved issues that may have stemmed from childhood experiences. And it can look like reframing negative beliefs, so challenging negative beliefs rooted in childhood experiences, recognizing that these beliefs were formed based on a limited understanding as a child, and they might not reflect the reality of who you are now. And again, it looks like practicing self-care and self-love. Incorporating self-care practices into your daily routine is so important. And it might look like talking to a therapist. And it's okay to reach out for help. In fact, I recommend it. It's almost like checking in with a general practitioner. I always recommend people go and see a therapist to just talk about some of the things that are going on. And it might provide you with valuable insights and tools to be able to navigate this process a bit more effectively and a bit less painfully. By connecting with your inner child and addressing underlying emotional issues, you can begin to heal past wounds, reframe negative beliefs, and develop a healthier relationship with yourself. This process can also support weight loss efforts by addressing emotional eating patterns and fostering a more balanced and positive way of looking at things. Some cognitive behavioral therapy techniques look like identifying and challenging negative core beliefs related to weight and self-worth, replacing negative thoughts with positive affirmations with realistic, empowering beliefs, keeping a thought diary to track negative beliefs related to weight and body image, revisiting your goals to see as to whether or not they're actually realistic. Oftentimes, when we make goals that are specifically tied to a number that we see on the scale, it can be quite a painful process. And likewise, when we are constantly only thinking about weight, and that is the way that we kind of measure success, that can be a very painful process as well. So challenging what goals you have, how do you define success, and how do you define failure is going to be important as well. Challenging core beliefs can be challenging but transformative process. Core beliefs are deeply ingrained perceptions and assumptions about oneself, others, and the world. But I think that oftentimes when we're able to challenge those core beliefs, we're able to come away from it with a healthier relationship with ourselves, a healthier way of defining what success looks like, and a healthier way of reaching the goals that we set out for ourselves. It's a process that requires self-reflection, patience, and consistent effort, and it's essential during this process to give yourself self-compassion and understanding, as changing anything really takes time and perseverance. So what I really want you to do is start thinking about what might be something that you do for yourself today to practice that self-compassion. Thank you for joining me, and I hope that you take care.